In the first video, we talked about the basics of the focus exercise and just kind of how we're going to deliver the treats. Now, we want to start out in a room like this where it's nice and quiet. Now, especially for him, we don't want to have any dogs on TV. We don't want to have kids that we hear in the background or dogs walking by outside or in the neighbor's yard. All those things are going to be too much for him. It's going to break his concentration. We want to practice this exercise enough so that when we say focus, he just stops what he's doing, sits up and looks up at us. Now, a couple things about training your dog. When you're training your dog, the ideal training length is 1 to 2 minutes. Dogs' neurons get tired of firing impulses or they get fatigued. So when you're training a new skill, if you push past 3 minutes, you're going to start getting more and more failures. You get into the 5-minute zone and you'll have mostly failures. I want the dog to have a pleasant recollection of the exercise. And if we're only doing it 1 to 2 minutes in length, then we're only getting a lot of positives and we stop before the neuron gets fatigued so we don't get the negatives responses that come in. Because after a while, if the last time you do something, it was not pleasant, the next time you do it, you don't remember it well. So I want him to remember each time that we did it as a fun exercise. So we always stop on a good one. And I would set your timer for about 1:30. Once you get to 1:30, next time you get a good one, stop it then. Other interesting thing about dogs learning is they typically have to sleep to categorize the information that they've gleaned, new information. So their neural pathways will realign while they sleep. So it's important to let your dog nap or sleep overnight in between each practice session. Now for these practice sessions, I'd like these to be done. There's 2 guardians in this house. I'd like to see the guardians each practicing it with the dog 5 times a day. Now again, 1 to 2 minutes. Now, realistically, you're probably not going to be able to do that 5 times a day, each one of you. But if we get about 6 or 7 practices between the 2 of you, you're going to make faster progress. And the more you practice, the faster he's going to get this. Now, the first stage we talked about just, at first it's just, for like the first couple days to probably maybe a week, you're just going to be going, focus. Every time he looks at you in the eyes. We're not prompting him. We're not going like this. We're waiting for him to do it voluntarily. And then we reward him immediately after, operant. Now, the second stage is to actually start doing this exercise and making it more challenging. Now, first what I would do is play the TV, not with any animals, and with the volume very low. So he gets used to hearing other things that are going on while he's practicing this exercise, but it's not his chief nemesis, which are other dogs. So each time that we practice it, the volume should come up a little bit louder. Or we have a guest come over. And we do it where the guest is maybe at the kitchen table having a conversation with our spouse while we're working on it over here. Don't work on it in just one room either. Start working it here, the bedroom, the kitchen, different areas of the house so it gets used to doing it wherever you're at. Now at first, like I said, it's 1 second, 1 second. But after about 2 days, the second or third day, you should start getting about 1 second, 1, 2 seconds. Then eventually, you want to eventually get up to the point where within a week to 2 weeks, the second movement is about 20 seconds. So that way we can maintain his gaze here while another dog is walking by. We can't do it just like where he gets a treat and then goes barking and lunging at the other dog. We want to focus on one thing at a time. Dogs can only focus on one thing at a time. Now, I'm also going to show I might do it in a different video, I might do it off camera, a counter conditioning exercise. I would recommend before we start playing dogs that are on TV, that we have counter conditioned our dogs our dog Zeus here, to not be so strongly reactive when he sees other dogs. So keep these short, but make sure you're doing it multiple times a day, every day. This one seems so easy, but I've had dogs that literally, your dog is more frustrated, but I have friends whose dogs wanted to kill any other dog they see. Now when they can walk by another dog, they're walking and they see another dog, they say focus, the dog walks by looking at the human while another dog walks by here and doesn't even look at them at all. So this is, so basically for this one, again, short iterations, keep on gradually increasing the distraction, the volume, and whatever it is, but don't move into where we have dogs here until we've done some counter conditioning. But then that would be another one as well. Maybe we play it where the dog is at volume 2. And I would orientate the dog so my back is to the TV so he can see that other dog out of the corner of his eye, but he's still focusing. Now, if that's too hard for him, then I'm going to move it sideways so he can kind of see it or can hear it at volume 2. So he barely hears a dog, but he's more interested in getting that treat because we practice so much on him getting these positive treats with the regular focus exercise. Then we can just say focus, focus.